geniuses, please gather around for Dr. A's amazing sideshow of science. Yay! I need everybody out in front of the tables, please. Hear one, hear all. The Downtown Farmers Market and Occupy Youngstown presents, free of charge for your entertainment, Dr. A's amazing sideshow of science. The show is about to begin. You do not want to miss it.
Hey, no amplification allowed here.
Well, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, hypothesis creators and critical thinkers, and science lovers of all ages, to Dr. A's amazing sideshow of science! Yay! In today's sideshow of science, we're going to take you on a trip around the Earth's spheres. That's right, the atmosphere, the hydrosphere, the biosphere, and the lithosphere. But first, before we get to that, let's talk about energy, and let's expend some energy to welcome our first performer, Eddie Exalto!
Whoa!
What Eddie is doing is generating smoke rings. Now, the technical name for a smoke ring is a toroidal vortex. A vortex is a whirlpool swirling shape. Hurricanes and tornadoes are familiar vortices. And the mathematical term for a donut shape is called a torrid, hence a toroidal vortex. What's actually, you can do some more. What's actually happening is that he is making a blast of air come out. Friction around the outside of the hole is slowing that air down. So you have faster air going through the center, which then generates low pressure, which then generates the whirling motion to hence make the smoke rings. Now, Eddie hasn't been practicing, but we're going to try something here. I need a volunteer from the audience. Ma'am, would you please come up? And here, please, welcome to the stage my wife, Susie. And let's see our version of William Tell.
All right.
You may want to use the string.
All right. Let's see. It's going to be that hard to knock off now. No, too high. Oh!
The incredible Eddie Exalto. Now, staying with the atmosphere, please welcome, where's Jess? Please welcome to the stage our queen of adiabatic expansion, Jess!
Queenie!
Now, the whole secret about the weather is that warm air rises, and when it rises, it expands and it cools. That whole process of expansion and cooling air is called adiabatic expansion, and adiabat means without heat. So here to demonstrate adiabatic expansion, please welcome Jess and my magical deodorant. Okay. What do I need here? Put it on. How'd that feel? Cold. Let's hear it for her! All right. We now move from the atmosphere to the biosphere. And we're going to start off with the nemesis of furry creatures the worldwide, the infamous foothold trap. Now, trapping is one of the oldest known mechanisms of hunting. In fact, it dates back over 2,000 years with the Chinese Taoist philosopher Zhuangzi wrote about it. The trap I'm demonstrating here, the foothold trap, has only been around since the 1860s. Now, these traps are so dangerous that they've been banned in 8 states because they'll puncture flesh, puncture limbs, break bones. Even animals have been known to bite off their limb to escape one of these vicious things. Now, they've been banned in the states of Oregon, Washington, California, Massachusetts, Colorado, Maryland, and Delaware. Now, notice I did not say the great state of Ohio, so we are not breaking any laws with this demonstration, and which I will do right now. Normally, they're baited, and something comes along and winds up getting trapped in the trap. Now, we don't have any furry creatures around.
There's mammals.
Hey, Eddie, did I tell you about part 2?
I would just thought I was blowing smoke.
Yeah, well, now, he's a YSU grad. He's not just going to stick his hand in a trap unless I bait it. So I have a $10 bill here. So we'll go ahead. Ah! People usually clap right about now. Sorry, I got a show going on. Okay, we now, Jeremiah, please come up. Our next part of the biosphere are the Madagascar hissing cockroaches. Now these cockroaches themselves date back over 300 million years to the Pennsylvanian period, which many of the rocks in the Mahoning Valley date from that time. In fact, there were so many cockroaches during the Pennsylvanian time that it was also known as the age of the cockroaches.
What else you want for lunch?
Jeremiah is showing to you Madagascar hissing cockroaches, which come from the island of Madagascar, where they live in rotten logs. Now they grow to over about 3 inches long. In captivity, they last for about 5 years, and they make excellent pets. They live off vegetable matter. Some interesting things about them is that they are called hissers, because if you agitate them, they will hiss.
Shake them around a little.
Well, they're like little kids, they never seem to cooperate. But maybe they hiss. They also, well, it's interesting. Most insects make noise by rubbing their legs together. These cockroaches actually expel gas from their abdomen. So they're the only insect known to make a hissing sound in that fashion. I mentioned that they make great pets. In fact, a friend of mine has a collection of them, and he managed to get into the Guinness World Book of Records. Travis Fessel for the Pickle Brothers Sideshow. He held 11 of those in his mouth for 10 seconds. It got him on the Jay Leno show. I only have about 6 here. I have more at home, so if anybody wants to break his record, you can start practicing with these bunch here. Okay, the Madagascar hissing cockroaches. We're now going to move from the atmosphere to the next was the biosphere. We are now moving to the hydrosphere. So please welcome back my wife, Susie.
Oh, Susie!
So, 70% of the Earth is covered with water, and we really should call our planet water rather than Earth because of that. And in fact, the entire volume of water on the Earth is 320 million cubic miles of water. Now, to demonstrate how much water that is, and how precious the water is that we have readily available to us as fresh, unfrozen surface water, we're going to imagine that this 5-gallon bucket represents all the water on Earth. 320 million cubic miles of water represented by that 5-gallon bucket. Now, where is most of the water on the planet? In the oceans, correct. So, in fact, about 97% of the water is in the oceans. So if this 5 gallons represents all the water, Susie's now going to remove just the fresh water from the bucket. And I want you to think about how much that is in your own mind. And we don't have the whole thing filled, just we didn't need to waste all that water, but again, 5-gallon bucket, they should be to the brim. It would be 2 cups of water. That's all the fresh water on the planet. The rest of it is salt water, not readily available for our use. Now it turns out that most of the fresh water on the planet is frozen. It's tied up in the polar ice caps, Greenland glaciers, Antarctica glaciers that froze the North Pole ice cap. So only about one-fourth of the water is available as fresh, unfrozen water. So she's now going to take that and reduce it down to a half a cup, the fresh, unfrozen water. Okay, good. So we went from all the water to the fresh water. Now we're just looking at the fresh, unfrozen water. Now, the unfrozen fresh water is in the ground and what we call groundwater. Many of you may be on well and septic systems and rely on groundwater. And some of it is on the surface as streams and rivers and lakes. So as our final demonstration, Susie, and I want you to think about how much it is. Susie is now going to demonstrate the fresh, unfrozen surface water on the planet. And to do that, she needs an eyedropper. And it's a single drop of water. That's all there is. That's a precious resource. Even this, compared. This is our groundwater, a single drop is our fresh water. This fracking is a major detriment to this, and we really need to be fighting against it, because it's going to be contaminated.
Yeah,
okay.
I want to say one thing that I saw on Facebook today, and that's clean water is essential, gas is optional.
Yeah.
Good point. Good point. I'm now going to demonstrate something that doesn't always work, but hopefully it'll work now. And this is an interaction between the atmosphere and the hydrosphere, the mystery of the upside-down cup. People usually clap right about that. How am I doing that? What's holding it up? Well, what's actually, it's the air. There's 14.7 pounds per square inch of atmosphere. We don't even feel it. We were born into it. We don't even notice it. But every square inch of our body has 14.7 pounds pushing down on it. This is a half a pint, right? It's a cup of water. There's an expression, a pint's a pound the world around. So this is 8 ounces. It weighs 8 ounces. There's over 50 times more pressure pushing up on this than the water pushing down. But I can always give it a little help and let it go. Okay. Okay. I'll answer your questions after. I got 2 more things I want to share with everybody. So we've done the atmosphere, the biosphere, and the hydrosphere. Before we move on to the lithosphere, I want to ask you, what is the main ingredients of the atmosphere? Does anybody know?
Nitrogen.
Not hydrogen.
Nitrogen and oxygen.
The atmosphere.
Oxygen.
Oxygen and nitrogen. About 20% of the about 80% of the air is nitrogen, and 19% is oxygen, and the rest are these minor trace elements. And some of which people said carbon, CO in the form of CO2, or methane or carbon dioxide. In fact, Adam, you may be generating some methane or CO2. I'll tell you later how you can tell which one of those carbon things you're generating. What about the hydrosphere? What's the composition of the hydrosphere? Right, H2O, that's water. So we have oxygen in the atmosphere, oxygen in the hydrosphere. We're now moving on to the lithosphere, which lithos is the Greek word for rock. And so what we're looking at is the rock sphere, the rock and soil on the planet, on the surface, as well as in the Earth's crust, and even down into the Earth's mantle. So the lithosphere, take a guess, and I'm going to give you a punchline. You've already said part of the answer. What is the main ingredient, the #1 ingredient in the Earth's crust? You've said it already. Susie, what is it?
Oxygen.
Oxygen. Believe it or not, oxygen, which we think of as a gas or in water, is actually the main component of the rocks on the planet as well. And to help demonstrate that, I asked for a few volunteers. Brandon, you can put that down. Where's Chuck, Adam, and Fritz? Come on up. And also Eva. I said it right, didn't I?
Yeah.
Okay, now Eva's going to be our spokesmodel. She's going to come in here. Please step inside here. Okay, so if you guys remember, where's Chuck? You're going to sit like this. You want to help Joe? Okay. No. We're going to be nice and cozy here.
All right.
The chairs. Yeah, nice and cozy. All right. Sit just yeah, you don't sit all the way back. Just come halfway. Adam and Fritz, you're going to sit like this. The head halfway down. You can move up a little bit that way. Yeah. Back a little more. Move that way. Yeah, that's good. Okay.
Because I'm awesome like that.
So what we have here is Heba's representing an atom of silicon covalently bonded with 4 oxygen atoms with our young gentleman right here. This is the building block of the Earth's crust. In fact, I don't know if you've noticed, I have this gigantic quartz crystal over here. Go check it out later. But that's all it is. It's silicon and oxygen. So now, guys, I want you to just go ahead and lay back as if you're doing a sit-up. All the way back. Get nice and comfortable. Relax. Lay back. Okay. All right. Now go ahead. Lift up your butts. Ease up on your butts. Lay back, and up with your butts. Lift your butts up. Go ahead. Lay back. Trust.
I'll catch you.
Up. There you go. Come on, up. Get your butt up.
Do it. You gotta do it. You're gonna drop them.
Come on, Joe. Lean back. Relax. Solidarity forever. Come on, lean back. Lean back.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
You'll be fine, Joe. Hang in there.
There it is.
Okay. But I have a confession to make. I've never done this before. I don't know how it ends, guys. Just let it go. All right, let's hear it for And we now end with our grand finale. I have here 1,300 nasty, cephalitic.
Oh my God.
No, I'm joking. All right. Nails. Now I'm going to lay on these in another demonstration of pressure. So let me go ahead and do that. Then I'll explain the physics and physiology behind it. People usually clap about now.
Yeah!
Okay. Now, I said 1,300. I only lay on about 270 of the nails, so I'm not laying on all of them. We actually laid out newspaper and seen which ones were punctured when I laid down and counted all the dots. But it's only about 270 nails. I weigh about 170 pounds. Each nail has a head with a diameter of 71 thousandths of an inch. If you do the calculations, it works out that I'm only putting slightly 300 pounds per square inch on each nail. From the research I've done, which was
You got some time, come see this.
which was one paper on the internet, I found out that it takes over 1,000 pounds per square inch to puncture human flesh.
Oh my gosh.
The force of the weight at the bottom of the Earth's crust in the lithosphere is about 145,000 times that, 145,000 pounds per square inch. But let's see if we can kick this up a notch. Jeremiah has agreed to give help.
Now it's going to get crazy.
Okay.
You about to put that on top of
He's
you?
going to put that 20-pound cinder block on me.
Oh, that's hard.
That's not hot. That's scary.
It's like something else.
Okay, get the sledgehammer. Get him.
Oh!
Guess what I'm going to do with this? Guess what I'm going to do with this? Yeah. Come on, everybody. Don't go away. Come on back.
It'll be okay.
Come on. Come on back.
You don't have to see it now.
You got to see how it ends now. Come on.
You got it. And if he gets stabbed, at least we saw it.
We're going to do a countdown, everybody.
Okay, hurry up.
3, 2, 1. This is crazy. This is crazy.
You need a bigger block?
We forgot our safety goggles.
Oh. That's anything dangerous.
Oh, I can't believe I did that. All right, now we're ready.
Where's the bubble wrap?
Okay.
Oh, that's some hot shoes.
We're about to break a cinder block on a bed of nails.
Yeah, y'all know.
All right.
This is Dr. Ray's amazing Sideshow of Science finale.
Oh, let's go buy an apple.
Everybody. 3, 2, 1.
Thank you.
That was awesome. All right, we gotta
Thank
go.
you for taking a trip around the Earth's spheres, the atmosphere, the hydrosphere, the biosphere, and the lithosphere. And let's give a big thanks to Occupy Youngstown! And the Downtown Farmers Market! And if anybody wants to try laying on the bed of nails, you can be my guest. We'll keep them out for a little bit. Anybody has any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
I've never done it before. I want to try it. Ray, what show did I do?
Oh, Chuck, okay. You got
Lay down.
Yeah, don't put your hands on it.
Yeah. It took me a while to find another parking spot. Roll back on it. Stay fresh on one thing. There you go.
I didn't say it didn't hurt.
Yeah, it is a bit pointy.
Okay, Okay,
It's not the worst thing I've ever felt.
Except when you're getting up here.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
Well, I don't know about this. What, stepping on it?
Oh, I was kidding. You serious?
I'm not quite trained properly. My buddy from the Sideshow was like, I've never laid on guys before. His nails are a little bit fatter, but he gave me a hand.
I'm not gonna do that. Come on. You wait till he's on a bed of nails and say, hey, your fly's down.
I didn't know that before. It's funny, they cut my hand on the gravel next to it, not on the...
That's why I was trying to get that out of the way.
It's fun.
Bye-bye.
Can you help me out?
One in.
Yep, Dad.